Hey, what's up everybody? Here to bring you an early review. This time we're going to talk about the Mezco Toys Rumble Society Doc Nocturnal. Now, I've already opened it up, played with it, got nice with it, but I want to make sure I showed it to you guys. So let's get started by unboxing this guy. Alright, let's get to it. We open it up, we get that nice poster art that we originally got way back at DesignerCon. So it's cool to see that used here to open up to what could possibly be something really cool. So let's take this out. And then here we are, opened up with your boy Doc Nocturnal. Obviously, you can't get that good of a look, but you can look at the first tray, and it's obviously pretty cool. So we're going to open it up further and jump into the next thing. So let's get to that. Now, we have Doc Nocturnal out in front of us, looking cool as hell. And I got to say, after playing with this guy for a while, man, I just had so much fun just goofing with this dude. And I like original property. So this is one of those things where it definitely hits that pulp hero vibe, that classic like golden age pulp comic stuff. It's like your supernatural version of Batman, I guess, or Dick Tracy, or one of those guys, where this guy goes after what goes bump in the night. So yeah, either way, let's look at how cool he is by getting an up close look. You can see that skull head, you see the cloak, you see the little talisman on the chest with the spider webbing. It all looks sly. It's one of those sleek uniform looks that I really, really enjoy. Now, one thing I do say is that if you were worried that the cape isn't wired, you don't have to worry about that. The cape is wired. So you can actually have that nice, actually, I shouldn't call it a cape, it's a cloak. My main man's cloak is wired, and it got real good vibes to it, real good vibes. Our look is utterly fantastic. One thing I do want to draw attention to is that the jaw also opens up. So you can actually recreate that poster look. You can have the shocking surprise face of a man with a movable skull. It's a good look, y'all. It's a good look. Now, in terms of overall articulation and things like that, first off, I'm going to show you that we can actually remove our cloak, which is always fun. And we can actually take the hood down. So if that was something you were worried about, look no further. It's here. It's done. Articulation wise, our head can look up, it can look down, left and right. It's a little bit more restricted and making the neck go forward, and I think that's okay considering the cloak you want to leave room for. But it's one of those things that it's a trade-off for the look of the cloak. The jaw does move and it opens up, closes real fine. It holds in place. Shouldn't be something you have too much to worry about. It's on a hinge. Our arms can go all the way up. So that means not only are you striking T poses with no problem, you shouldn't have too much to worry about. Even with the cloak on, none of that stuff is hindered. You have a bicep swivel, and you have a little bit of butterfly joint too. That's one thing I didn't know about. So you get a little bit of butterfly joint room too. It's not something crazy, but it's there. You actually have a double jointed arm. So as you can see, the fist can touch the head, which no problems. We also have a rotating gauntlet on the glove. You can see the night watch is there. We'll get into that when we talk about accessories. But we have our night watch. As far as the torso articulation, we can tilt to the side. We can go forwards, like a normal ab crunch that you get on most Gomez-like body types. We can go backwards as well too. Our legs can go forward. Actually, we can get a little bit more room going backwards, so you can get about this far. We have our standard thigh swivel. We have double jointed legs. We have really nice ankle pivot here on the dock. It goes a little inward, goes actually really far outwards, goes forwards and backwards. So posing him up, going side to side, let's look. So we can actually hit some masterful kung fu like poses with the dock. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Actually, do we get a little bit of boot action? No, we don't. That's something I don't think I've tested before. So we can actually get our guy posed up very nicely. And the belt has a little bit of wiggle room as well too. So that way when you want to move things around, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. Overall, I really like where this guy is going so far. After sitting down, like I said, I've had some time with him. It's one of those things that's very much enjoyable because the more you play with it, the more you get to have a little bit of fun. So yeah, right here we have the night watch. Before I jump into the rest of the accessories, I want to talk about the night watch does open up. You can see your wrist communications there. Nothing's really left out too much. Let's see if we can zoom in. There we go. Nice little details there. Now, what I do want to do is I'm going to jump into those accessories to show you guys what this guy comes with, just how cool he is. Again, if you are a Monster Hunter or a Monster Hunter fan, not the Capcom game, if you're a guy who likes, you know, hunting otherworldly things or like that genre, this is definitely going to be pretty fun. So let's get to that. Now we're on to accessories, and just to keep it a little spicy and change things up a little bit, we're going to talk about the weapons first. So first things first, I want to talk about his sidearm, which is called the Ferryman. Now the Ferryman is his sidearm, and from what I have seen, this guy is supposed to shoot different types of ammunition. So it's one of those multi-ray guns or multi-ammunition guns. So you can have normal bullets, you can have silver bullets. Let's say you wanted a ray blaster, you got it on this guy. So I like where this is going, definitely hitting those pulp vibes. And as you can see, I put the cloak back on just because I like the look of that. You're gonna lift up this tab here, and you can see that you can store this in there at any point in time. Slides right in, tabs back over with no problem. One thing you do want to talk about with this though is that you also get accessories. So you'll get bullet effects. So you'll get your standard bullet effect, which you'll see right here. Plugs right in. And then you'll also get the three-way bullet effect. Again, multi-ammunition means you get more options. So I'm just going to stay this off to the side, so that way I don't lose track of what I'm doing with it. We'll jump into that. Next up, we're going to go over the Death Ray. The Death Ray is cool because this uses the Doc's secret chemical X13. See, it's labeled here on the back. It even has his logo here on the inside. And it has something you can just snap right in. So you can just, and it's also adjustable too. This is actually adjustable, which is pretty cool. And you'll have the Death Ray here. Looks pretty plain and generic, but what's really cool about it is you actually get a cool green effect. And this looks utterly fantastic. But what's really dope about it is it glows in the dark, y'all. Now, I didn't supercharge it enough, or at least it's not showing that well, but it definitely does glow in the dark. You get some more light on it, and you'll definitely be having those nice shots that show up really, really well. So actually, let's jump into the next one. So the next effect that you'll get, though, is actually pretty cool. Actually, it's not an effect, sorry. The next item that we're going to talk about here, it's called the Iron Talon. This is going to be sort of like your grappling hook tool, your device to pinch out locks off doors. This is like your super strength tool. So while he may not have it, the Iron Talon does. It opens up, so it looks like a wrench, right? But what's cool about it is you get another version. And this is like its grappling hook version. This is really cool because I was able to actually show that it can hold his weight up while holding him up. And this was actually really, really dope. I'm actually going to do this in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swap out a hand before I even jump to the hand part, because I'm really excited to talk about this, right? And I'm going to put Doc. I'm going to put the Talon on. And what's cool is, like I said, it actually can hold its weight. It's not something that'll fall or anything like that. It holds the weight of Doc Nocturnal. So if you want like a real grappling hook that's going to hang on to something and hold him up, this is definitely for him. Like, it works. So if you're getting that nostalgia as a kid for those grappling hooks and stuff like that, this is it. See no more. Now, what's also pretty cool is you'll have something called the device. Now, the device is a small thing, sort of like a supersonic disruptor with other features. There's two places that I have sewn to put it, and I was pretty cool about that with utility belt, is that originally I placed it back here because I liked it being a nice little secret sidearm to be right here on the back of the tab. So you can tab it in with the back piece and secure a spot, and it holds. I like it there being a little secret backup thing. But what's really cool is I found out that right here, you actually have a removable pouch. So you can have it right at the front and center. That way you don't have to reach at the side of your belt. So it's sort of like one of those things where you can switch up how you want it to be. Again, options. I like these kind of things. I really do. Then we also have a machine gun. Doesn't seem like much, but it uses the large round magazines. And again, if you want to pump people for the lead, sometimes that's what you need. For this, you want to make sure that these two parts at the top line up. See them right there? You're going to slide them right across the top, and that's how you hold this magazine in place. So that way, when you want to pump bad guys full of any type of ammunition you want to use, but it's there. You'll actually get an extra magazine as well. You get an extra magazine as well too, which is really dope. Next up, you'll actually get a gas mask as well. So the gas mask is pretty cool, and that's why I left the hood down. Because the gas mask is one of those things where you get these pretty little tubes that actually are wired and pretty cool. You can rotate them in several ways. So what I chose to do was, there's different options. You can actually take this piece off and actually have them plug into the back, where you'll get these nice little port pieces, which is pretty dope. Or you can leave this piece on that I had here and have it lay in the chest, because you can combine it with the death ray. And then, like I said, there are plenty of sporting options for this guy that'll be pretty cool. And as you can see, you can just slide it right over this head. Let's pop the head off, because I don't want to mess with the body. See, it fits perfectly fitting on there. Pop our gas mask on. And again, our Pulp Hero now has other options of slewing the bad guys. So as you can see here, I am plugging it into the backside. Who knows what kind of options or tubes that he has in his belt, but it looks cool. I really like how this looks on him. You get tons of cool options. Speaking of which, you'll also get a variant head, another head, and this one actually glows green. And just like his effect part, this one also does glow in the dark. I'm actually going to get a little bit of light on that. Let's supercharge that with some light. This one also has a jaw that opens up. So as I turn this off, that glows a lot more. And I really like the way this one came out, because I can do stupid things like this. So don't mind me as I have fun with a glow-in-the-dark head like a 4-year-old, because that's what you should do with a glow-in-the-dark head at 4 years old. So yeah, you actually get some cool things. Also, you'll get goggles. So no matter which head you want to put that on, or even if you want to add a cool human head for yourself, you can add these nice goggles for yourself as well too. They fit on both skull heads with no problem. Last but not least, you'll get the Hades grenade. And these are actually his signature grenade. Use a special mixture of stuff. These are the thermite explosives that allow you to blow up bad guys as you see fit. You can actually store these here through this loop as well too. Or you can just have one hang out on the backside. Depends on how you want to go about it. Or even if you want to be cool and just store it on the inside of a belt. Have fun with it. The point that I'm making here is that this is something that's really cool and original that I've actually been having a blast with, because it's one of those things you can be different about. You don't have to have a certain set of things for him to go up against. At least not yet. But if it goes bump in the night and it's a monster, best believe Doc is probably going to be on it. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the hands that he comes with before we jump into the size comparisons. So let's get to that. As you saw here, he has one hand that holds one of his weapons and things like that. You actually get a second hand for that. You will get the 2 closed fists, which you see here. You'll get 2 open action palms. You will get 2 types of trigger hands. So one will be strictly for the ferryman, which you see the sidearm. And the other one will be for larger weapons like the death ray and the machine gun, which it can hold. You'll also get a hand that will be able to hold the cannon and the machine gun, and also your thermite grenades, your Hades Inferno. So yeah, as you can see here. Then you'll also get another open action palm. Again, you can use this for the machine gun or the death ray, ferryman, however you feel like. You'll get 2 carrying hands. You'll also get a hand for 2 pointing fingers. Yeah. So I think that about covers all the accessories that I can think of right now. I'm actually going to leave this head on for a little bit. Now what we're going to do is jump into those size comparisons so you can see how he stacks up with other Mezco as well as other lines. So let's get ready to have some fun, y'all. Now we're going to square them up size-wise and see what we got going on. First, I plan on doing some Mezco stuff. to show you how he sizes up with other Mezco stuff. Let's try your main man Nosferatu, which has some height over your boy. And then we're going to do a Gold Skull Ninja. And as you can see here, it seems like my main man Doc is in the same size comparison as I am, being shorter than most people, which I'm actually okay with. That makes us very relatable. So as you can see here, he seems to be on a smaller buck, which again, I am fine with because I like stuff being different sizes. So he's definitely one of those things where mixing and matching him, scrapping with bigger characters are going to be really, really fun. Next up, we're going to do a Mezco Me, which is on a Spec Ops Gomez body. And as you can see here, Doc is indeed smaller. Even here next to a Mezco Punisher, you can see he's still much smaller. Now we're going to size him up with some other stuff to show you how he scales out with them. We have a Lightning Collection Gold Ranger. And as you can see, he's scaling with the domestic stuff a little bit better. Here we have a G.I. Joe Classified Beachhead. He sizes out pretty well with some domestic stuff. Here we are with an SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Kuga. And even Kuga being smaller squares up a little bit better with Doc, which makes me really happy. I could have those two team up. Here is a 1000 Toys Synthetic Human. So we got some sizes with a bunch of different domestic and import stuff. Next up, we're going to do a Mythic Legions Gold Knight. This is a 1.0 body, yeah. And then last but not least, we'll do a Marvel Legends Phantom X. So let's do that. Yeah, we'll choose to do him. And as you can see here, even with the domestic stuff, he squares out pretty well. Again, being a shorter guy, I can relate to Dr. Nocturnal. Maybe he has Napoleon complex and he wants to fight everybody. You never know. We'll find out next time. But in the meantime, I have thoroughly enjoyed this guy. His options are really clean and really nice. And he's just one of those out there pulp heroes, or, well, I don't know if he's a hero yet, but he's one of those out there pulp guys who, you know, if he's Monster Hunter, he got to be doing something good, right? I guess. But either way, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. Special thanks to Mezco Toys for letting me review this guy. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.